Stop doing what you think you know about Julian Assange and discover the truth instead. The name alone sparks debate. Is he a heroic champion of free speech or a dangerous enemy of the state? Assange, an Australian computer programmer, burst onto the global scene with WikiLeaks. This online platform, founded by Assange, became synonymous with leaked secrets. Governments trembled. The public got a peek behind the curtain of power. WikiLeaks exposed war crimes, diplomatic blunders, and corruption on a massive scale. The world watched in awe and fear as the truth, often ugly and uncomfortable, poured out. Assange argued that transparency was vital. He believed that exposing wrongdoing, no matter how powerful the perpetrators, was essential for a just world. His supporters hailed him as a fearless defender of the public's right to know. Critics, however, labelled him a reckless ideologue. They claimed he endangered lives and undermined national security. Love him or hate him, Assange's impact on the world is undeniable. He forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about power, secrecy, and the price of freedom. Assange's crusade for transparency came at a steep personal cost. In 2010, WikiLeaks, a non-profit media organization, published hundreds of thousands of classified US military documents. These documents, leaked by Chelsea Manning, exposed potential war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan. The US government was furious. They vowed to prosecute Assange under the Espionage Act. The Espionage Act of 1917 was originally enacted to combat interference with military operations and support during wartime. However, many legal experts argue that using the Espionage Act against US citizens for releasing information to the public is unconstitutional. Facing extradition to the US, Assange, an Australian national, sought refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2012. He was granted asylum. For 7 years, Assange lived in a single room in the embassy. His movements were restricted. He became a prisoner of his own making. In 2019, Ecuador withdrew his asylum. British police immediately arrested Assange. He was charged with violating his bail conditions and facing extradition to the US. The US government unsealed an indictment charging him with 17 counts of espionage and 1 count of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. These charges carried a potential sentence of 175 years in prison. Assange's legal team vowed to fight the charges. They argued that he was being persecuted for his journalistic work. Then, in a stunning turn of events, a plea deal emerged in June 2024. The details remain shrouded in secrecy. However, it is believed that Assange has agreed to plead guilty to certain charges. In exchange, the US government has reportedly dropped the most serious espionage charges. This deal paves the way for Assange's release from prison. But why now? What could other governments gain from this knowledge? Did the US just want to punish him and cover their crimes? The questions linger as Assange steps into an uncertain future. The timing of Assange's plea deal raises eyebrows. Why now? After years of legal battles and diplomatic standoffs, why has the US government suddenly agreed to a deal? Some speculate that the Biden administration is eager to move on from the politically charged case. Others believe that the deal is a tacit admission that the Espionage Act charges were excessive. Could it be that the government is concerned about the precedent that prosecuting Assange would set for press freedoms? The deal itself also raises questions. What concessions has Assange made? What are the terms of his release? And what will happen to the unpublished documents still in WikiLeaks' possession? The answers to these questions have significant implications for the future of free speech, government transparency, and the role of whistleblowers in a democratic society. Until the details of the deal are made public, speculation will continue to swirl. The plea deal in many ways feels like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers a resolution to a long-standing legal battle, but on the other, it sets a concerning precedent. It's like a sword hanging over the heads of journalists and whistleblowers everywhere. WikiLeaks fundamentally changed the landscape of journalism and free speech. The Assange case has brought to light the delicate balance between national security and the public's right to know. Moving forward, we must ask ourselves, how can we protect whistleblowers while ensuring transparency? In the wake of Julian Assange's plea deal, the world stands at a crossroads. The implications of this moment are profound, not just for Assange, but for the future of journalism and free speech. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves, how do we balance the need for transparency with the demands of national security? What protections can we offer to those who dare to expose the truth? And on a global scale, this plea deal could have far-reaching implications. The answers to these questions will shape the future of our society. It's up to us to ensure that the pursuit of truth remains a noble and protected endeavor. Together, we can forge a path that honors the principles of justice and freedom. Where do we go from here? The journey is ours to define. Like and subscribe for more conspiracy theories and hacker news.